Hello and welcome to another video aiming to get you the really top grades. So, what is this voice inside your head? Well, first, it's a voice that everybody has. And actually there are two voices. The first voice is a social voice. It says, am I allowed to like Taylor Swift? Can I wear double denim? Do I have the right phone? If I don't text back, is that a bad thing? Is it okay to say I like maths? Is Miley Cyrus fun? Can I confess I hate cats? Well, I'm not going to teach you how to stop listening to that voice because why would you listen to me? I said it was a social voice and your social group will have a much bigger impact on you than mine. But the other voice I can help you with. The other voice is a private one. It says to you, if I try really hard and I fail, it's better not to try too hard. And then I won't have to tell myself I'm a failure. It says, I'm just not creative. My memory's rubbish. I don't know what to write. You're asking me to remember how many quotations? I'll never do that. Well, the good news is that is not your real voice. Your real voice is the person who wants to do well. And you're scared of not doing well. So let me show you some ways to overcome that fear and turn that voice off. So number one, it is never too late to start revising. Yes, you can revise something the night before the exam. Let's say you revised 10 things, you'd be guaranteed for a couple of those to turn up. So if you start now in April and other people have already started, that doesn't mean you're going to do badly. You're just going to use the time that you can to be the best that you can be. Because this happens in secret. Nobody else has to know how much or how little revision you're doing. And that is a massive advantage because this is what happened to my daughter. She chose the most intelligent person in her friendship group and she was revising for 2 hours a day. And these were the days when you could take study leave, when you had all day off. Well, she was delighted that her friend was doing 2 hours revision a day because she, my daughter, was doing 3 hours revision a day. But as soon as I said to her, well, hang on, when you were at school, how many hours did you spend in lessons? Well, 5. And how many hours of homework did you do in year 11? Well, 1 or 2 a night. All right, so in a normal school day, you were doing 7 hours of work, but now you're doing 3 and you're really happy. And I didn't have to have a go at her about that. She instantly saw, oh, I've been listening to my social voice, which says I'm better than my peer group and therefore I'm doing okay, rather than sitting back and thinking, what do I really want? Oh, I want to achieve really well. Oh well, so I'll put in at least as much work as I was when I was in school. And that's really all you can do in your revision. When you come to the 24th of August and you open up those exam results, all you can do is say, and it helps if you look yourself in the mirror, I did my best. That's what matters. Now, the other thing I have to train my students in that isn't natural is this strange idea. Don't think, just write. And they think that obviously is bizarre because if I'm not thinking, sir, I'll write something that's rubbish. Well, that's true. But this is what happens in exam pressure. Try this for yourself after the video. If you just commit to writing and not thinking about what you're writing, your brain will suddenly look at what you've written and think, no, I don't really think I mean that. What I mean is this. And it will give you a new idea and that will give you another new, oh, well, nice. And then you'll cross out the one that was rubbish. However, if you listen to the voice, this is what happens. I'm not sure what to write. I'll do a plan. I'm not sure if any of those ideas are any good. I'll cross a few out. I'll put some more on there. Okay, maybe I'll start with that one. No, that's not any good. And you can see the time disappears. It goes. And you get no marks for your plan. Nothing. You only get marks for what you write. And examiners won't object to seeing stuff crossed out. Instead, they'll think this about you. Ah, here's a student who's thinking. They've written an idea, they realise it's not very good, and they've crossed it out, and I expect what comes next is probably a better idea. So you've already controlled the mind of the examiner. That's not why you're doing it. You're doing it in order to get to a better idea. But that is my number one piece of advice that will transform your experience of listening to that voice. Just tone it down, ignore it, keep writing. Right now, at the other extreme, you have probably 50% of students in an exam hall who stop writing because they finish the paper. Now, this is crazy if you think about it. So you can't go anywhere else. You can't get your phone out. There's absolutely nothing you can do other than go back over your paper and try to write some more. Because in English, the more you write, the better your marks. I mean, it's that simple. You keep writing, you get some new ideas down, your marks go up. You find a new quotation, your marks go up. You have a new interpretation about what the author meant, your marks go up. You have a better conclusion, your marks go up. You check your spellings and change them, your marks go up. You notice that you're forgetting to use commas, or you're using commas all the time instead of full stops. You change some, your marks go up. Every single second in that exam is going to guarantee you more marks. I mean, like 100% guarantee. Everything you do will get you more marks. The one thing that won't get you any marks is this. Finished my paper. Yeah, finished it. Yeah, check me out. Finished. No marks. You've been in school, a secondary school, for 5 whole years, and are you really happy to chuck away what you could do because you think you've finished? And it's not like you've got anything else to do. Think about it as an opportunity. You've got the opportunity to find out what you're really capable of. Because this is another reason you can stop listening to that voice. Virtually everybody gets okay GCSEs and they're able to carry on to do extra qualifications. And so in many ways, your GCSEs don't count. You know, as long as you're getting grade 4 or in some places grade 5, they don't actually count for anything. Well, of course they do count because they count inside your head. It matters to you how well that you do. Therefore, obviously try your best. But it matters in a much more important way. Because when you train yourself not to listen to the voice which says, no, that's not very good, and yeah, I've just done enough, I've done better than my friends. If you train yourself not to listen to that voice, A-levels are going to be so much easier. You're going to find the hard work so much easier because you've already trained yourself to do your best, even if your first attempt is rubbish, and a lot of the time it will be. That doesn't matter. You will already have trained yourself to try and remember things, and so your memory will get better, and that voice that says, I just can't remember things, will be much quieter because there'll be evidence that you can. And crucially, you will have trained yourself to do this. I felt that my year 11 was full of pressure, and the pressure was too much. I stopped listening to that voice and just tried to do my best, not something superhuman or not what my friends were doing, just my own individual best. And from that, I learnt that I could overcome that voice and I could do reasonably well. I guarantee that you'll do much better in your GCSEs that way than you did in your mocks, even if you get grades which are not the ones that you want. But of course they might be the ones that you want. You will have learnt that revision and hard work, not listening to the voice, helps you get higher grades. And you'll put that into practice in your A-levels and get the university that you want, or get the qualifications for the job that you want. And it's what you want that is the real voice in your head. That's the one that you should listen to. Well, there is one final problem with that voice, and it's to do with the teenage brain. So here you have the prefrontal cortex, and this is the part of the brain that regulates emotion and long-term goals. Well, there's a bit of a problem because that doesn't fully develop till you're 25. Now, as a teenager, you've got many more connections in your brain than an adult, so you're actually far more intelligent than I am on average. However, I have an advantage over you. I'm old, and because I'm older than 25, I'm able to motivate myself with a long-term goal. If I want to achieve something months in the future, I can do that, but you will struggle. The reason you'll struggle with that isn't because you're dumb, it's because your brain hasn't developed the prefrontal cortex. However, you can train it, and the way you train it is by speaking to it. Seriously, you speak to the voice in your head and say, no, this is what I want. And that will genuinely help you develop more long-term goals. For example, I am going to revise for the next 6 weeks as fully as I can so that I ace all my exams. And that is genuinely possible to do, as long as you have that conversation with the voice. Find out what you want and tell yourself about it. You'll get there. If you'd like any further help, pop me a comment below. See you soon on my channel.